Yeah, man, I really don't like this thing. It tells me I'm live, and then it still says that it's setting up the meeting, so I like have to wait for it to really see if it's actually online. So like, or if I can just start talking, I don't know. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna just start recording. Out there, just coding got me tripping. I wonder if I get copyrighted for singing stuff. Do I get copyright stricken? Will I get the channel stricken? Stricken? Will I get it struck? Striken? Strikened? Struckened? Will I get it struckened if I sing a song that is that is copyrighted? Okay. All right, let's go. So welcome everybody to the Yin Yang Wolf Pack. Very special episode today. I'm calling this one City of Angels. Why? Because I just came from LA. It's really funny. I was in LA for all of 30 minutes. I drove through it. I was actually in Fullerton, which is in Orange County, but it's all fucking LA to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, like there are distinctions or whatever, but it's the LA area, right? And I think today we're gonna have a story time. Let's go through a story. The story, wow. That is not family friendly right there. We're gonna have a story time about how young Will Rios, who's about to turn 30, oh my God, about to turn 30. Awesome. How Will Rios was when he was in Los Angeles. I lived in LA for 3 years. I lived in Koreatown. Why was I living there? Because of law school. My law school was in Koreatown. It's called Southwestern Law School. It's just outside of downtown. And I remember arriving there and seeing the campus, and the campus looked pretty cool, but it was very small, especially compared to where I went to college, which was Harvard, which was like, its own little tiny city almost. Like, we had our own. Yeah, it was just crazy. Like, we had all these dining halls, we had all these buildings, just like shitload of buildings. This one is literally 2 buildings. No, 3. Yeah, it's 3 buildings. There are 2 buildings for classes, and then one of them is connected to the apartments where students on campus can live. So how many students were even on campus, man? I think couldn't have been more than like 800 or something. So like let's say my year I think was maybe 300. So maybe it was like 1,000 students or something. My year was like 300 students. And then there are 3 years. Oh, and then there's scale. So whatever. Let's say like 1,500 students tops. No, that's too much. That's too much. I'm gonna stick around 800, 900. So yeah, I moved in, and it was law school, man. It was just a whole new beast, a whole different experience, whole different type of understanding. And I was really, I think I was a kid. I would not say that I really became a man mentally, like to myself, like to me, oh, I'm a man now, was probably a year ago. No, dude, honestly, like 7 months ago, earlier this year, really, because I still had the emotion of my mother in me. I didn't have my connection to God. I didn't have my faith, in the belief that I could do what I needed to do. I didn't own a business. I didn't really work for myself. I didn't have that as a concept. Like becoming my own man was all of that. And I think all of that just happened to me a few months ago. Now I'm a business owner. Now I'm working for myself. I mean, I'm still learning law from my mentor, the partner that I work for, but it's not just to work for him. It's for the purpose of me working for myself. So yeah, so I was in law school, man, and I didn't know what I was doing. Just like half the time, throughout my life, I just kind of followed something. I followed some sort of path, my intuition or something, or like my mother, I don't fucking know. But I had some sort of idea of what I kind of should do. And so I kind of went there, but I never really had certainty. I don't think I've had any certainty before. Honestly, before, like I said, before I became a man a couple of months ago. And so I was living in LA. I was in the city of angels, which is really funny. Like Los Angeles is Spanish. Los means like the, and then Angeles means angels. So the angels. Now we could go a lot of ways with that one. One of them, um, it's really funny because people don't look at LA like that, right? They don't think of it as angelic. They actually think of it as demonic. Why? Because of Hollywood. Because Hollywood, it means wood from the holly tree, which was wood that they used to make wands to cast spells. So Hollywood is a place where you cast spells, and you cast the spell on the world. Hollywood is like known all over the world for making all these movies, like that. That is where it is. That's like this. That's where if you're an actress, if you're an actor, you want to go to LA. Why? Because there you'll find your big break or something. Like that's what you do. I went to LA because I kind of wanted my big break. I wanted to do like music law. So I ended up going there to study musical. I ended up not doing that shit at all. However, the journey will take you where it goes. So I went there, uh, in my own way, seeking like some angels, right? I was seeking some sort of prosperity or ability to create for myself, to find something. I went to the angels to look for something. And I've always knew this, man. I knew deep down that it wasn't a great place, but I felt like I had to do it to go through it. You know, it's like you're going to the gym, like you're working out to you're not working out to work out. You're working out to get the result of changing your body, you're changing your life, changing your chemicals, your mentality. Like it's a means to an end, right? Now, if you start doing it enough, like I do actually now enjoy working out. It's actually fun. But that wasn't like the original purpose. The original purpose was I like to work out. The original purpose was I want to change my body. I want to change my life. So I went to Los Angeles with the thought that I want to change my life. I want to learn some shit. I want to become a lawyer. Wow. That's kind of cool. It's kind of funny. I wanted to become a lawyer. And I started figuring out what that means. And I didn't figure out shit. They taught me some laws and stuff. They gave me some tests. I met some people. Um, but I didn't know shit about being a lawyer until I was a lawyer actually practicing. Then I knew what the fuck it meant to be a lawyer. And it's funny, they have this phrase called think like a lawyer. Like that's so weird, dude. How does a lawyer think? A lawyer thinks I'm trying to win. Now, is that thinking like a lawyer? I mean, sure, I guess, but really, it's thinking like a warrior. It's thinking like a soldier, thinking like a fucking like a beast. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna win. That's what it is. It's just done in a certain arena. The arena is words. The law is words. The motions I file are words. The emails I send are words. When I talk to the judge, those are words. When they talk to me, it's words. When I talk to the other lawyers, it's words. We're just fighting on this battlefield, this etheric battlefield. And the judge is the judge who decides who wins. Well, or a jury, but whatever. So I went to the city of angels. And did I meet any angels? I did. Like, wow. Yeah, I did. There was really just one angel. I met one angel and a lot of demons, mostly demons. No, I met a few angels. The first one, man, this is so cool. You know what? I'm gonna text him right now. The one angel I really met. Okay, no, I won't text him because he texted me all this other shit. All right, whatever. Anyways, the angel that I met was an older gentleman who ended up being my roommate, which is this is all so funny and so weird. He was my roommate. I think he's late 40s. Had a son, I don't know, had a daughter and like a stepdaughter or something like that he ended up taking care of from like a woman that he married. And he still like cared about the girl. And so he even after they divorced, like he still like takes out the stepdaughter or whatever to do shit. And then he has his own actual daughter. So this guy taught me about the gym. He showed me the documentary Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And like I told him that I was going to the gym, and he was like, all right, well, let's go. And then, I showed him my workouts that I was doing. And he's like, yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, bro. Like, let me show you how to do this. He was like big, swole, white guy. And then he would like talk to me about jujitsu, how he did jujitsu and stuff. And I never really cared for it. Now I do. Now I'm doing jujitsu, which is really cool. Um, and he was like, okay, so this is the schedule. You go 3 days a week. You do one day you do arms and no, you do back and biceps. You do chest and triceps, and you do shoulders and legs. And so it's a 3 day cycle. And then you go 3 days in a row, take a rest day, 3 days in a row, take a rest day. So that's the whole week, right? Now, the way that works out is that every day, like it's not a schedule in the sense that you that it lands on the same day every week, right? Because really the cycle is 8, right? It's the 3 and then the rest, and then 3 and then the rest. So really it's 8. So every day, every week, it like gets shifted over. So he taught me that. And he drove me around LA. He showed me places. He's like, oh, this is a good place to go. This is a cool area. He kind of gave what he did is he gave me guidance, man. And it was really cool because I needed that so bad. And that's really what every man needs, bro. Like that, it's supposed to be our fathers, man. It's supposed to be our fathers. Like, fuck, man. Do you have a father that really guided you? Like, for real, I did not. So that's why I had to seek men on the fucking internet to teach me. But now I have real fucking guidance. And that's why I think I was able to really become a man. And it makes me sad because how many other kids are like me or were like me, you know? Like their father just dipped. But then this is a sad story, but it gets good. So you have all of that, but then the being inside is seeking more. When the student is ready, the master shall appear. I was ready to then become like a student of like the gym, and the master appeared, and he and he showed me how to eat. He was like, okay, you go here. Oh, he showed me how to cook. What the fuck, dude? Man, I was so blessed. Like, dude, that's amazing. And then he ends up like dropping out a year later because he couldn't keep up the grades. So as much as dope as he wasn't that good at school. So yeah, that was like my first year of the City of Angels. And then the second year, COVID hits. Fun, fun, fun. And then I go back to Houston. And then I go right before COVID, literally like the February before COVID hit in March. That February, I went to my first beast camp with AZD. And that changed my life. Holy shit. That changed my life forever. I was just like, whoa. Like I had been watching him for a while, and it wasn't until Yogi Chris reached out to me to like be on the program to go to the beast camp that I actually did it. And then I showed up and I was like, whoa. No, not only that, it's like I drove from LA to San Jose 6 hours. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, bro? Why am I driving 6 hours to go listen to a man that I've only seen online? You know? I'm driving 6 hours to go meet somebody. Not only meet him, but meet like other people. And I show up and I see ACD. And it was so cool because I showed up late. No, oh man, dude, this whole fucking thing. I show up and it's later than it was supposed to have started. So like I had to go check in with my Airbnb, and then I showed up and blah blah blah. But I showed up. Shamir, what's up, man? We're in the middle of story time. You're gonna hear about my very first camp. You ready for the story, bro? So this was February 2020. This was Love Spell. And AZD was basically kicking everybody out. He was like, y'all are serious students. Y'all are all a bunch of fucking phonies. Y'all are a bunch of fucking faggots. And I'm kicking everyone off of Love Spell unless you sign up for this camp. And I was like, okay, like fuck, like because I had been on Love Spell and I was starting to understand that holy shit, there's this whole thing to seduction that I'm now starting to get in and get a grasp of. And I wanted the information. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna go. So I drive up from Los Angeles to San Jose, 6 hours. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why the fuck am I driving 6 hours to go meet some fucking guy on YouTube? You know, like it was just, it's so funny, like thinking about this now. Cause I was in law school, it was my second year in law school. And I'm like, dude, and I'm spending all this money. This, I think it cost like $1,200 or something at the time. And so I show up and I go to whatever building it was, and I actually see AZD like outside. AZD is like standing outside, and I thought it was so weird. Honestly, it was weird. He was like pacing back and forth. So he like, it's dark as fuck. It's like 8 p.m. or something on a Friday, and he's like outside, like walking back and forth. I think he's like kind of shaking his head or something. And I was like, dude, is that him? I was like, I don't, is that him? Like, I don't know. And so I pull up and I was like, hey, I'm here for the camp. And he's like, oh yeah, dude, you got to go around. That's on the other side. I was like, okay. So like, that was my very first interaction with AZD. It was like him like walking back and forth, pacing. I guess he was tapping in or something before, you know, the new way of tapping in. So I drove around. I walk in, and then I was late. And what AZD does is he like, it was like a conference table, and everyone was seated all along the conference table, and then AZD was in the front. And then I walk in and I sit on the very back one. So I'm like, I'm at the furthest away. And so what AZD does is he walks all the way down the conference table, comes up to me and does like a high five. He's like, and then he just turns around and then comes back up, and then he starts the fucking camp. I was like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, I don't even know. I don't know anybody here. I've never met anyone. I seen Yogi Chris and I've seen Sultan. I remember recognizing Sultan and Yogi Chris for some reason. And then he goes up and then he starts talking about the whole premise of the camp was he was going to talk about the archetype for the alpha male. And this was all very new to me. Like, what the fuck do you mean archetype alpha male? Like, what the fuck? And he goes, the first thing he starts talking about, like he says, the archetype is the warrior. And then he like goes into like all of these fucking stories of different types of warriors, and like, you know, like this one is this type of warrior. He's like a fucking savage animal beast. This other one's like a scholar who reads a lot and sharpens his sword and like speaks philosophy. There's another one. They're like all these types of warriors, and they're all represented by a color. And so he just got into the story of all of these. And I remember one of the stories was so powerful. I'm sure I mean, you guys have probably heard it, but it was like there was a king sitting on top of a castle over on a mountain. So the castle's on top of the mountain, and he's just looking out. And the girl walks up to him. I don't know if she's a princess or something in the story. And then he's like, he's just like looking out. And she's like, you know, so what do you see? Like, why are you looking out? And he just says, you know, this place is just so beautiful. Like, I love this. How would you feel to reign over all of this? And she doesn't really have an answer. She doesn't really know what to say. And he said, you know, if you want to know what I know, and how you can get this, like get this whole land and have it be yours. If you want to know what I know, follow me. And then he jumps off of the fucking castle on the mountain. And like that's the story. Like he just, like, if you want to know what I want to know, if you want to know what I know, follow me. And then boom. And I don't know why, but that story is just like, what the fuck? Like, imagine you being that type of person. Like, was this guy like a dragon? Was he about to like shapeshift into a dragon? Is there something at the bottom that he knows is gonna save him or something? Did he have some fucking magical powers? Was he gonna fly or something? But like, now looking back, what I think that shows is like these words go together for me. It's like certainty and faith, which is really funny because you have faith because you're not really certain. Like it's kind of like a paradox, right? Like I am certain that I will be okay, even though I don't know. So really, it's not really certainty because I don't really know. It's faith. like if you get what I'm saying, it's like this fucking. I think of it as a yin yang. I think of it as like a paradox that like eats itself. Like the thing is eating itself. Like I am certain, therefore I have faith, or I have faith, therefore I am certain. It's like I'm hot, therefore I'm cold. Like it's like I'm black, therefore I'm white. Like it's just like this fucking weird thing. But yeah, so he goes through the entire archetype, like all the archetypes of the warrior. But what was more for me was like how he was like moving. Like he was just, and if you were watching the YouTube show or the top player party or whatever, like just observe AZD's motion, man. Like just like don't even listen. As much as fucking listening is gonna help you, like just like watch him. Like turn the volume down, and you'll see the way he moves is with such. I don't even know the word still, man. Like I just know the feeling of it because I'll catch myself walking and I'll be like, wait, how would AZD walk? And it's different than I walk, but I can feel it out. Like it's sort of like I think of a Mortal Kombat character, like when they're standing like that, like they're like, about to like ready, fight, like right there. Like he kind of moves like that. It's like a warrior, it's like an animal, it's like a savage, it's like a beast, but it's like under control. But you know that it could just pop the fuck off at any point. Like that is the movement. And so, like he would say whatever he's saying, but he would do it with like expression and like movement and bigness. Like it's just very large, very like larger than life sort of thing. So if you go back and watch the top player show on Friday, you'll see that throughout. And so then that night we went to Spearmint Rhino. My first time ever at Spearmint Rhino. Oh my god. Isn't that fucking nuts? Now I've been there fucking 800 times. First time I went to Spearmint Rhino. I remember walking in with Yogi Chris. And I remember thanking him. Like I was like, dude, like thank you, man. You got me here. Like all this time I've just been on fucking online watching shit is like because of how you communicated with me, like you convinced me to come here. And like I've already gotten so much, so thanks. And then I met like the other characters, the other IMC characters. I don't think any of them are here anymore. Literally, other than Sultan, Yogi, and Fernando, I don't think anybody that went to that camp like is still around. I remember there was Mike Moinard, the pilot guy. There was I thought he was cool. Nico, the fucking Russian. I thought he was cool. Fucking Sharif or something. Same with my first camp. No one's left. Yeah, dude, like what the fuck? Like it's just so weird. And so yeah, like I met all of these guys and I was like, whoa, like I thought they were so cool. And I was like, dude, these could be like my friends, Like this is cool. Like all I've been living in LA was around fucking law people, and they're all fucking dorks, dude. I fucking hate it. Like they're disgusting. Anyways, I finally found like some men, like some guys, like some tough dudes who I could like be around. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And so after that, man, is when I like started everything for me. That's when then I started doing videos, like talking into the camera. I started doing like I really started to get good with girls. Like it was just something, man. It's like the way I see it is like AZD has like the fire. He has the flame. And I walked up with a candle and I was never able to light my fucking candle. But then I grabbed the fire and then I took it with me. Like that's really how I feel this thing was. And then from that candle, I have now put that fire on some wood. And then from that wood, like I put it onto a fucking fireplace. And from that fireplace, now I put like a fucking bonfire. And it's like building. But it all started from that same flame, which was me coming in contact with him. And now, fuck, man, this thing has gone fucking even more colossal. But yeah, after that, I really started to do well with women. And then what I realized is that it's not that I ever really did bad with women. It's just I didn't have the fucking balls to push it forward. Like girls actually always liked me. Like that wasn't the issue. The issue was me being a little bitch and not like moving forward. Like me not escalating. That was really all it ever was. Like I legit, bro. I legit remember times in college where like some girl would be like laying in my bed, like half naked and shit. And I just wouldn't do anything. I'm like, oh my bro, like Jesus Christ, what a fucking faggot. Like, like bro, this bitch is right here. She's like, here, like with you, bro. Like, what are you gonna do something? No, fucking bitch. But yeah, after that, like I felt the freedom to be able to get what I want in my life. Like, dude, I wanted fucking girls. I wanted to talk to girls. I went out and I fucking started getting girls. So that was like part one. Then came COVID and basing up in the beast process. And that was a whole other fucking thing that like changed my fucking life. Then this was when in my law school, I fucking took out like they give us beds or whatever. I like broke down the fucking bed and like moved it out of the fucking room in like my law school dorm apartment thing. And then like that, I remember that moment because I was so wild, bro. It's like, am I really doing this right now? Am I taking out the bed? Like my entire fucking life, 25 years or 26 years, however old I was, I've been sleeping in a fucking bed. Now, because some guy on the internet said to do it, some guy on the internet told me not to, that I was a bitch if I slept in the bed. And I listened to him. And then I remember, bro, the very first night, I don't even think I had a carpet or something. And for whatever, oh no, the very first time I ever slept on the floor, I actually didn't move the bed. I was just gonna sleep on the floor next to my bed, like just to try it out or whatever. And then I didn't have enough room. So I actually walked into the kitchen and I slept in the kitchen. The very first night I ever slept on the floor, I slept in my kitchen because I didn't want to move the fucking bed. And I remember waking up and like the lights coming through the blinds and shit. And I was like, fuck, dude, this sucks. Like I didn't have anything, man. That shit was awful. But yeah, then I ended up moving the fucking bed. Then I'm like waking up in the middle in the fucking 5 a.m. and I'm going to like this park at like down the street and, like, and I'm doing pull-ups on the monkey bar. And it's like there's this whole fucking thing happening, and I'm tapping into the wolf, and I'm like I'm walking around the streets like growling. Like I would just fucking do that, bro. I was so tapped in, man. It was awesome. Oh, all this thing did, man, was like it developed the energy. Like that's really what the fuck well, they called it phase one. The phase one beast process. Like that's what that did, man. It cultivated the fucking fire inside of you. And that's why in my imagination and my world, my wolf, like my wolf totem, he breathes fire. He literally shoots out fire like through his mouth, and he has red eyes. Is this right here? Here, I'll show you. This is literally the the representation of my wolf, like the very first one I ever made. Oh, I gotta delete all my fucking notifications so you see it. But yeah. Anyway, it's this guy right here. Literally like that is who I am. Like this is I'll talk to addicts and he's gonna put this like I'm gonna put this tattoo on me of this fucking wolf. Like that is just it. And so like it created this energy within. And with this energy, you feel fucking powerful. You feel like nothing can fucking stop you. And that's when law school became so little to me. Like it became like the tiniest, easiest fucking thing ever. I was like, bro, I'm a fucking monster. I'm a beast. Who the fuck cares about this test? Like, bro, I'm gonna do this shit so easy. Like, dude, then I think everybody else is a bitch. Like, bro, all these motherfuckers are little bitches. They can't fucking talk. They're little punks. I'll fuck them all up. And that's how I moved throughout law school for the rest of the time, thinking everyone's a little faggot. And then after I graduated law school, I go back to Houston for a little bit. No, I took the bar exam. That was the whole thing. And so I take the bar exam, and then I move in to Long Beach with Najim. Wow. I was living in the back of his crib, like doing what was I even doing, bro? I don't even know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't have any money. I didn't have shit. I had this book. literally, this was my savior at the time, the fucking greatest salesman in the world. All I did was read this fucking book and like work out and eat food and like watch AZD and somehow pray to God that I would be able to make some money somehow. I'm like applying to all these jobs, nothing's fucking happening. I don't have fucking money to pay Najim for rent. I'm like asking my mom for money, and it was just like the worst ever. It was, but you know what's fucking crazy is during this time is actually when I got my first girlfriend. Isn't that wild? Like my first girlfriend that knows I'm fucking other girls, know I'm gonna be with other girls, and is like fine with it and is like still down for me. Like that's so wild, man. The time where I was making no money and wasn't a lawyer and didn't have a fucking job. And was even like that's really, dude, like that speaks to the whole fucking power of this whole thing. Because literally this bitch, she's from Texas. She flew out from Texas, and I told her I don't have any fucking money. Like it's not like I can fucking buy you shit or we can do anything. She flew from Texas with her own money. She rented the Airbnb for us, which was legit like in a fucking castle, like on some hills in like around LA. And then we're everywhere we're going, she's like paying for everything. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like the story is so, if you're in the normie world, that story doesn't make sense to you. How some fucking beautiful girl is gonna fly out to you, buy your fucking Airbnb, buy you shit, take you out and go do stuff. Why? It makes perfect sense if you understand IMC. Because what she's looking for deep inside is not money. She needs money as a means to an end just to fucking live. What she wants is a fucking man. What she wants is a fucking savage. What she wants is a fucking beast. And I gave that. It's the fucking character, dude. It's literally who you are. Like that is the gift. That is the gift that you're giving to the world all the time. It's who the fuck you are as a person. And if you give, like, dude, if you give the world a hero, the world will treat you as such. Like what you choose to be to the world will give you what that character gets in the story. So if you give the world a hero, you will be given dragons to face, but then you will also be given princesses. Like it all comes together. It's all part of the storyline. Like if you craft this thing, the world will give it to you. That's why it's, as within, so without, like the internal. You have to shift who you are. And that's what the whole process did, man, is it shifted who the fuck I was. Okay. Anyways, where the fuck am I going? What are we talking about? Oh yeah, this is story time. So the whole point of this, I was inspired to talk about this because I was just in LA. And so like the story of going from LA to San Jose, like it's very mystical for me. Like I think of it as like it's like a journey. Like it's literally like some spiritual journey of like driving from LA to San Jose. Like I in my head, I picture it as like going upstairs. Not stairs. It's like a mountain. It's like I'm going up a valley from a valley up a mountain to San Jose. Like that's how I envision it. And it's like cloudy and it's like windy and it's like you have to like go, you have to like have on stuff to protect you against the elements. But then you get to San Jose, and up in San Jose in this mountain is the master. It is the temple. Literally the base one Stoic temple. Like, bro, that's exactly what the fuck it is. It's like I traveled through the mountain and defeated the fucking rain and the storm and the snow, and then I got to the Stoic temple. And then I was allowed to enter the temple. And here I started learning the secrets of the master. And the master started showing me how to speak and how to cast spells and how to create energy within me and how to like breathe fire and how to like you fucking airbend and start to like fly and float and shit and start to freeze water. Like that's what this whole thing has been, dude. Like that's what I've been doing. Like that's the storyline that I've been running, like somehow. And then throughout all of that, like everything else became solid. Like then I figured out that there are other temples. Like, oh shit, there's a temple in Las Vegas called Base 4. Now there's a temple in Orange County called Base 3. And then I started leading my own temple, bro. I'm the fucking base leader of Base 2. What the fuck? Like now for other people, they can have that storyline with me of like, we've had residencies. fucking what's his name, Black Adam. That's so funny. We call him Black Adam. Yo, hold up. We call him Black Adam. This fucking like, was he Persian or something? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he is, but that's so funny. Anyways, like he also has that storyline. He lives in LA and he would drive up here. He's done, I don't know, 3 or 4 times already, just to stay here at the temple and to learn. And that's what I did when I did my first residency with AZD. It's like I took the mystical journey to the Stoic temple to sleep on the floor and learn from the master. And I think in our own way, I don't know if it's your fucking storyline. I just assume that it must be something similar, like that you feel some sort of way. If you're connected to this movement, like you kind of have that sort of imagery that you're playing with. So yeah, so I made it to the Stoic temple to learn from the master, and then I was given my own temple now, and now I'm able to like teach myself, which is fucking nuts, man. So yeah, it's just really with all of this shit. What I want to say is that this whole thing has been a journey, and it is a journey that continues to give fruit, man. Like as many times as I've been to Vegas, every time was fucking amazing. Like it was so good. I learned so much. I had such amazing experiences. Like, and then now I see how this next chapter is now me revisiting the city of angels. Like now let's go to LA again. Because it's what's really funny is that when I was there, when I lived in LA, all I knew was a bunch of faggots, all these lawyers, these little betas. Like that's all I knew. Now I'm going to LA with some fucking monsters. And even at that, man. Oh, dude, Shamir, man, dude, you have to. We need to get all of Bay Street to Vegas because the game was disappointing, man. I need it, bro. Okay, get this shit. All right, so this is what happens. There's 2 set right there. Jaime, I was about to open, but then Jaime kind of comes around and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna open them." I was like, "Okay, yeah, fuck yeah, go for it." All right, so he turns to the girls and he's like, "Hey, we're having a debate. Who lies more, guys or girls?" And so as he's opening, I turn around, right? Because I want him to open it by himself. He grabs me, pulls me in, and it's like, "Yeah, weren't we having this debate?" I'm like, "Oh my God. Yeah, dude, we're having this debate about like who lies more, guys or girls." And then I start running the set and I do like best friends test. And then I go into Zodiacs and I do ring routine. And then Jaime ejects. And so now it's just me. Like he opened the set, didn't really open the set. He brought me in to open the set. I open the set. I start running my shit. And then I'm like, "Okay, my friends are over there. You want to make some friends?" "All right, yeah, cool." Arm on shoulder, bring them over. And I'm like, "Hey, all right, this one's a Libra. I don't like her. That one's a Virgo. She's my friend." Boom. I'm negging the one that I like, or the one I like. And then they fucking just stand there. Like they don't say anything. I was like, "Okay, so yeah, dude, this guy, he's the president of this, and this guy has like 3 businesses, and he's like a bad motherfucker." They're just like, yeah. I'm like, "Help me, please, somebody help me, like do something. Like, can someone grab the obstacle? Please talk to her, like do something." Anyways, I have to like keep running it. The set goes or whatever. And I lay into them. I'm like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, can you help me? Can you use your words? Can you talk?" Yeah. So then I ran down everything. I was like, "Okay, when you open the set, the guy leaves because you're supposed to open the set. Then I'll come in and like I'm just running down everything. And okay, when I introduce you, I DHV you. What are you supposed to do back?" "Oh yeah, I was supposed to DHV you." Okay, yeah. What's up, Shamir?
So how did they respond when you were correcting them? Was it
Uh,
like, yeah, how did they respond?
uh, Zay was like upset. He's like, "Hey, bro, like, hey." I'm like, "How about you like do something and then I won't like talk to you like this." The other one was Octavio. Octavio, I think he actually doesn't know, and so he was actually like appreciative. He was like, "Oh, okay. Oh, so when you do this, they do that." With Zay, he's like learned some of this, so I think like he felt a little worse about it, about the correction. But yeah, like why? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I have never. I've never actually even met Zoe in person,
Hmm?
and so I really don't know the extent of his knowledge and whatnot. I actually, when you were saying what you were saying about you introduced the girls and like everybody just kind of standing there, I was
Hmm.
imagining like all of Bay Three. You
Hmm.
know, like we're all standing there in a suit and powerhouse, and them all just standing there like not knowing what the fuck to do,
No,
forgetting
so
everything we taught.
yeah, so they were kind of okay. Powerhouse wasn't there, and the other one, Oracle, was with like some other people. So I didn't bring them back to everybody, but I brought them back to like three people, and then those like three people weren't like talking. But dude, last night we went out with Tattoo Addicts and Chris Cruz, and then that was fun. That was like, all right, now I can play here. Like, so we can have some fun, dude. Me and Addicts were fucking shit up. We're like bringing girls back. Cruz was bringing girls back, dude. Honestly, out of everybody, Cruz is like my favorite, man. His energy is it. Like the way he is just like fun, like aggressive, like dominant. He's just like he'll just roll in there. Like he's the dog, like about to like what are we doing? So yeah, Chris Cruz is fun as fuck. Um, it was really cool, man. Addicts, he was like giving me a lot of props, which is really it was a little weird for me. Cause like, I think of him as like OG or whatever, but he's like, yeah, man, like, you've been killing it. I was watching you on this and that, and like, you can really tell like how like you got game, bro. Like you're a fucking player. Like you get bitches. I'm like, fuck, thanks, bro. Yeah, Jiguru that. Like, but yeah, no, even Addicts is fucking good too. Like he's really good in set. It was really fun to have him around. And then I after me talking enough shit to the base three guys, they started like contributing and being a part of it. There was a set where I opened, the Rosé came in and he like did the whole Ashley thing and like it went well. The second night was definitely better. The first night I think like dude, people need technique, man. Like they have all this shit in their head and they have no application of it. No, AZD didn't go out. He was only there Friday night and he went to go see his bitch, or his bitch came to this his hotel. And then the second night I stayed, but base one went back. So what's up? Are you gonna come to LA or what?
Yo, I mean, not this next week. For sure, not this next week. I just saw the video where Yogi was like, basically he's gonna have camp in LA, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to make lectures in the morning, so I really didn't know that that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
no,
no,
dude, I'm
that
not.
literally just became like a thing yesterday.
I
After
see.
after the show, man. Dude, the show was amazing. I mean, did you watch all of it?
Bro, I didn't watch all of it. I was watching. I watched maybe the first. I'd say like maybe a third of it.
Mm-hmm. It's like an hour
Pretty
maybe.
much ACD's whole introduction, everything he was saying about how like we don't become aware of ourselves until you come around this and that. We could be playing football, and then all of a sudden, and
Mm-hmm.
just watching the reactions and like I can't even put words on. Like
Yeah.
that was some. You called it a masterpiece. That was a masterpiece. Well,
Yeah, dude. Fuck, dude, and it didn't stop, man. It kept going, bro. There was a moment where he was like singing to one of the girls, and it's like, you know how it happens when like he sings like you think he's about to stop, but then he like keeps going, and then he keeps going, and like that's just how he goes, man. It was so fucking good. Anyways, yeah, what's his name? One of the dudes ended up pulling one of the models, which was really cool. We took like three of them out with us, and then one of them ended up coming back.
hold on. Which dude? Which dude? And how did it
Anbu.
happen? Anbu pulled the model.
Yeah, Ambu brought back one of the chicks.
He closed it.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I This weekend I learned Anbu's power. I learned that he actually is like pretty a fucking sick character.
I
Um,
see.
yeah.
Low key, bro. That's it's kind of hard to fathom. Like I'm imagining myself in that situation. And like, sure, I know I've been out here and like I'm exposed to the nightlife, and I'm sure I can maintain a high level of energy more than everybody else. But when it comes to like that very calibrated environment of being around models and you're not necessarily hitting on anybody, you're just like kind of socializing and
Mm-hmm.
winning people over that way. I'm curious to see how I would do in that
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Weren't
You know
but
what I
I mean
mean?
you were doing the you did like all the VIP parties, remember?
Yeah, but I
Phil.
won that shit. I won that shit.
Yeah.
Um, I won one of them. If it's anything similar to that, then yeah. But again, I mean, like I was also calibrated to that kind of game during that time because we were
Hmm.
hitting a bunch of strip clubs, right?
Hmm.
It's I don't know if I'm thinking about it wrong, but in my mind right now, it seems like it's two different things.
It seems like what?
It seems like it's two different things. I mean, maybe I'd get out there and I would just kind of feel it, and it'd be like business as usual. But
Hmm.
I'd want to expose myself to that. Sure.
Yeah, it's it's almost it's very similar to the VIP parties. Like it's basically the same thing. I mean, there are tiny differences here and there, but that's kind of the vibe. But also what's interesting is that Anbu was like part of the people running it. So like he had like some sort of authority, you know what I mean? Which I'm sure played into everything, right? Like he wasn't just a
Yeah, for
contestant.
sure. That gives me value.
Hmm?
So that gives them value right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly. And it's at
If,
their house, you know what I mean? It's at their crib. They're the ones hiring these hoes. Like the whole point of the gambit was properly executed. So
Mhm.
yeah, dude, I would dude get your ass to LA now. Fuck man. Like
Dude, I know, dude. What do you want me to do? I'm over
yeah,
here
dude.
drowning.
It was just so sick, man.
Yeah,
Really,
bro. Yeah, so like when you bring sets back to like you said what happens when you bring sets back to base three. When you bring sets back to like base two or base one guys, what's it like? You know what I mean?
when I bring sets to them, like
Yeah, or when you're gaming with them, like
uh-huh.
compared to what it's like here. I'm just curious to see where everybody's at. You know what I mean?
Um with base when I bring girls back to base one, so okay, last week I brought a two set into our table at Straits, which was really fun for me. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, like, it was cool. Um, it was really good. I introduced everybody not one by one, but I'm like, this is IMC Nation, and I sit down, and at this time Yogi took the girl, the obstacle, and then I was able to isolate my girl and then run my shit. So like it was very smooth, very good. Number closed, blah blah blah. I'm still texting the bitch. Um, with base two, they're not as experienced and they don't do as well. So it's definitely a tier below. Um, with base three, it was like below that. Except for when I was running with addicts, but like addicts and crews aren't technically base three anymore, right? Like they like left, they're doing their own thing. But yeah, I would say the most successful sets have been the ones in Vegas. But I also think that's because a particular type of girl is there. You know what I mean? Like for here, it's like, there's a girl, she comes here every weekend and blah blah blah. So like it's not like she's in Vegas doing crazy shit. But yeah, it's good, man. What what I do miss is like the ability to run these gambits, right? Like to run the DHV stories, to like that doesn't really happen. Like it's starting to happen now with me and Palacio because we're getting more in tune with each other, but it's just it's not the same level. But like you know like even as I learn Mr. Method, like I'm just seeing so much how what AZD is doing is not even like at all Mystery Method. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's built on the same principles, but it's not the same game at all. And it's like that is where the limits of my understanding are. Is like how the fuck is AZD doing his shit while like I'm trying to run this material and like how all of that combines. You know what I mean?
The way that I see it, whenever I'm watching a game, is almost like it's like watching a really good fighter fight with his hands down. You know, like I was watching the TikTok stream that he did for like maybe two camps ago for Animal, and he was talking to the one girl that he met up with in LA. And then Yogi Chris was like, if anybody on TikTok heard this, they would think you're simping. And
Mm-hmm.
then were you there? Were you in at base one when he was doing that?
Yeah.
I know Palacio was there.
Yeah.
And AZD was kind of like dumbfounded, like, wow, like you think that this is simping, like you're never gonna get this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me again of like it's like when somebody who is fairly new to fighting is watching an experienced fighter fight, but he has his hands down and he's critiquing him for him having his hands down. But he doesn't know that this fighter is actually so calibrated and his timing's so good that he can afford to fight like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the way I see AZD gaming.
Wow. That's actually really good. I think you're exactly right. Yeah, because even like singing to the girl and shit, like he's done this like 4 or 5 times in straights in and now in the parties, whereas like he gives a lot of attention. Like the what you're supposed to do at the beginning is you don't give the girl attention, you don't show interest too soon, right? Like you build the value, blah blah blah. But he can break that rule because he does it so well. It's like a dude, I kind of, bro, this is wild. This is not because I grew up a musician, so this is making me think of like jazz. It's like the note is only wrong if you play it wrong, but you can play notes that aren't in this chord structure if you can flow through them properly. Like there, like you, if you know the rules well enough, when you could bend it and break it and move it around and kind of fuck around with it. Like that. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. So, but the thing is, you're not going to get to that stage unless you do know like the fundamental structure of this whole thing. But okay, all right. This was all very very fun. Thanks for joining me, Shamir. I have to go in a sec. Do you have? I don't know. Do you have any questions or anything? Any ideas? Any comments? Anything you want to say?
No questions, brother.
All
Um,
right.
I mean,
Cool.
yeah,
Dude, you need to
yeah, it
come down.
was nice to hear.
Fight. I'm seeing you post all this Muay Thai shit, man, and we need to fight for real. We need to put you in some gloves, man. Let's go, dude.
I'm in gloves every day, but I'm down to come and put on some gloves in San Jose. Sure.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
that'd be fun. I mean, like I visualize a lot about how that would be. Because I know you guys are sparring a lot.
Mhm.
Granted, like everybody, from what I see, everybody's pretty much a beginner in the
Mhm.
striking aspect, except for you, because I know you have Taekwondo background.
And we
Um,
haven't done any fucking kicks. I'm so mad.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but it's fun. I'm excited to spar you guys. I think that'd be fun.
Hmm. Have you ever done jujitsu?
A long time ago, I did a little bit of nogi jiu-jitsu.
Hmm.
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm good at jiu-jitsu. I had to put Adrian in a rear naked choke a couple weeks ago, but yeah,
Yep.
bro, if you heard that story, dude, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell it. I don't want to make him look bad.
Yeah, you
But
should tell me sometime. But all right,
I
man.
will.
Thank you, Shamir. Thanks for joining. Thank you, everybody. This was the Yin Yang Wolf Pack. When do I do these? I do this every Sunday at 2 p.m. And yeah, man, just dude, become a part of this shit, man. The more you can do this, the more you have this sort of lifestyle. It's like, dude, I'm flying to Texas, I'm flying to Miami, I'm going to fucking LA. I'm like talking to models all the time. Like, this is the life, bro. This is the life that you want to be in. I'm a fucking bro. I own a business with AZD. Like, what the fuck? This shit is amazing. This shit is beyond my dreams because even in my dreams, I never thought that this shit would happen. But here we are. So let's keep making this creation, make it even better.